Howdy, howdy, folks. A-Train here with you for another episode of Planetbase. Now available on Steam from Madruga Works. And I'm excited to announce, although it kind of hasn't been a super secret, just somehow I missed the memo. They're working on a Planetbase 2, due out early 2027, so we've got that on the radar now, and we'll be tracking progress as more and more information and stuff becomes available. I did put a post up about it earlier, so if you want to check that out, you can go ahead and look it up on Steam or look it up in my YouTube post, because boom, confetti, there it is. Hope everyone's doing well. I spent the week working in Minneapolis, St. Paul, or Minneapolis, Minnesota last week. So, that was fun. It was nice. It was 20 degrees cooler than it is here in Dallas, where we're going to be pushing 100 again today, but still, it's been a relatively mild summer, all things considered. So we're not going to fret about that. We're going to go check out what's going on the Easy Planet. Indigo, howdy, howdy. How are you? Welcome aboard. Appreciate you being here and hope you're doing well. So, yeah, back in town and rested up over the weekend. And here we are. So hope the sound's good. Everybody let me know if there's any audio issues. If I sound clear, hopefully I've got the settings good. And we'll roll tide from here. So let's cut the Willy Foo-Foo stuff, get over to the game itself. Hello. There it is. There it is. And so we're going to do a new game. Okay, so here's what we're looking at. We're going to do one here on the Class D planet. That's the easy one, as it were. Air quotes, easy. We've already done all 10 achievements. But then we've got to get Consolidation done on the other 3. So then we'll play this one to about 100 people. Skip to this one. So let's get on here. Let's find us a spot. I think I want to go right about here. That looks like a big open. Normally we kind of go a little different area. I think more up this way. So we're looking kind of at an open area on the map. We want somewhere we can put a mine close to the base, but we want to try to have as much open and accessible area as possible so we can grow the base, right? All right, we're going to name this Whitson Station after astronaut Peggy Whitson. She has flown a number of missions on the space shuttle, been on the International Space Station, flown for Axios now, Axios Space on the Dragon capsule from SpaceX. And she has more time in space than any American. So this is going to be named in her honor. So let's start the game. Have a sip of high quality H2O. Everyone make sure to say howdy. Let me know where you're at. All right, look here. See these goofy looking rocks like this? They go away. This, not so much. But this schmutz up here, that all goes away once you kind of plow through it. So, yeah. All right, usual crew complement of knuckleheads. We're going to have 3 workers, 2 biologists, an engineer, workers in blue, biologists in green, engineer in yellow, medic in red, a worker bot, and a constructor bot who backs up the engineer. All right, so first thing we're going to do here is we're going to destroy the ship. Now, we're going to take a second and do a quick scan around and see where we're at, because we may need to do some, yep. All right, quick stuff. So, all right, what we need to do is not that. We need to start here. So we're going to need to build a solar panel first, and we're going to build that right about here. We're going to do a size 4. See how I'm pushing it in closer to the rocks? Okay. That's what you do. Now we need a power collector. We're going to do a tier 2 one. Okay. All right. And that way, and then we can connect these two by doing this and this, clicking that. They'll start bringing the stuff out here. The metal pieces needed and all that good stuff. Now we can spin it around this way. All right. Next thing I'm going to do is get a water collector going. So we're going to put that. You know what we're going to do? We're going to need a mine anyway. Let's stick the mine. Well, maybe not. Maybe so. Maybe not. Okay. This is going to be an anchor point for us. Let's see if we can pull this off. All right, that's looking a little tricky. Let's try something a little different here. Crap. We're going to need a landing pad. So we're going to stick that right here for now. And then we're going to need a we need a water generator, extractor. Oh, you know what? This may work out. So let's try to do this. Let's do this one and do it right there. Now, what this is going to do right here is cut off access over here, but there's a but to this, and that is it may allow us to set up a little closer. Let me rotate this way, yep, because I got room to go this way. See that? All that space. So we're going to do a little bit of Jimmy Jam airlock. We're going to put this right here, like this. Okay. And then we need to rotate more this way. I use the keys. You can use the center mouse wheel. You press it down, you get more precise control. All right, so we do that. Now we need an O2 generator. And we're going to move back here as far as we can and make a big one. Okay. All right, so now what this is going to do is we're going to do our control stuff. First, we're going to shut that off, and now we're going to go into landing pad permissions. We do not want traders. We want biologists. And then we'll take a couple of workers and then maybe a engineer. Actually, no, I don't want an engineer. I want, yes, okay, good. So we want to get this up and going as quick as possible. We've got power production going here. The next thing we're going to do an exterior module. We're going to do wind turbine. And the wind turbine, we're just going to build right here, I think. Actually, no, this will be a little closer over here. So this allows us to do a couple of things, but I'm going to try to give myself enough space. This is going to take 3 metal. I think we got enough metal to do this. Because next thing we're going to do is build a mine. That's going to go, I say that's going to go, turn. That's going to go right here. Perfect-ish. Okay. Now, that's all done. So that's going to allow people to get oxygen. Okay. All right, because we got power, we got water, and now oxygen is going to start generating. All right. So next means we need a canteen. And that's kind of our center hub of operations here, if I can get, and we're going to do a bigger one. Aha, we got more crew coming in. Perfect. You want to jump on that early, okay? And hopefully you get biologists, because then it's going to make it easier. So we got 3 awesome. Okay, great. Now we're going to raise the priority on this. Get this reached. Okay, we got 3 more biologists, which is what you need to grow food. All right, so we're going to get the power flowing, and then actually at this point we are going to landing permissions. We're going to raise up the workers, because we may have to deal with an issue where we want redundancy. Okay, we want more workers to work in the mine. We're not going to work in the mine just yet. Okay, so now we need to get this up and going. All right, and that's going to act as the hub of our operation. What we're going to look to do is we need to get a biodome going, okay? And we're going to do the second largest one, and we're going to set it up so that it connects these 2 modules together, hopefully. First thing is we're going to set it up so that it connects to where the food's going to go. And then we can get the biologists planting and growing food. The second thing we're going to need is a processing plant where we can process raw materials, and then use that with a factory. Okay, we're going to set that up. We're just going to do the small one here initially. Okay, with the idea being we can do the bigger one later. So see how I've tested the big one fitting there? Okay, so I'm going to give myself a little bit of room, check and make sure it's going to fit. Okay. Okay. Where's my bot? Dude, get over here and build stuff, man. Come on, yo. All right, now, the next thing we're going to look to do is we're going to look at planning our factory in this spot, which I may move it over here. Because then stuff from here can just go across to there, but stuff from here is, well, it's going to go to here. Let me see if this is going to work. It will. Sometimes it helps to check those connections before you start getting stuff stacked up there, or it may not get built. Now, people are going to be looking for oxygen. Well, they can come in and get oxygen. Okay. All right. And now the next thing we want to do is make sure they can get water. Okay. Because dehydration is the devil. All right. Now, this has got to be completed. And then we're going to build a water fountain. And then people can bring food in. There's food packets over here. Okay. See the food packets? Now, if people are unhappy, okay, happiness is excellent right now, actually. So hopefully we're going to get more crew soon. Now it's going to be tricky to feed them initially, but it's going to work out because, all right, I need some knucklehead to come over here and complete this. Engineer, yo, dude. All right, what's he doing? He needs O2. We'll go inside. But I need the bot, and unfortunately the bot's on the wrong side of history here. He's going to have to go all the way around to come complete this. Okay, so now this is the processing plant. Now, you have to make sure you get one of each machine, especially the metal maker, done, okay? The bioplastic machine can wait, okay? But if you don't have a metal maker and you use up all your metal, guess what? You're screwed. Okay. All right. So this is going to get us now where we can build a water fountain. Okay. And we're going to put that right here by the entry. Okay. Second thing we'll do is we'll put a table next to it. Well, we're going to actually move that, and we're going to put it right here. And then the third thing we're going to do is put a TV on it above the wall. Okay. We don't have anything for the food machines yet until this gets up and going, right? But for now, it just seems weird. This is taking so long to... Oh, you know what? It's because I'm not playing on fast speed. This just means the O2 is low. All right, here we go. Here we got some. All right, we got an engineer and 2 workers. All right. So here we go. So let's slow things down for a second. Okay, we're going to turn off landing permissions for now. Okay, we've got the crew we need. Now, in this biodome, here's what we need. Tomato plant is priority number 1. This size one you can do 12 pads in. Tomatoes are your fastest growers. Mushrooms are low and slow. And then you want something that works to start making starch. And we're going to do an onion pad. So this is going to be what we do here. All right. Also, we're going to try to get some medicinal plants going because that becomes good trade bait early game. All right. And we're going to crank this up. Next thing we need is somewhere for people to sleep. Now we got the water fountain built, so we're good to go there. Hey, DDG, what's happening, buddy? Nice to see you. It's good, thanks. I was out of town up in Minnesota last week working, and now I'm back home, and we're looking at some Planetbase because long time no see with the game, and I enjoy it thoroughly. So, all right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to look to kind of, I think, protect ourselves. We're going to go with a small one, and for now, we're just going to put it here, off the O2 generator, okay? And we need to get this built. We got to keep happiness up. See how people are hungry? That's like, dude, just go in there and eat. You can sit on the floor, but I actually made a bench for you to sit and eat at, you know? It ain't rocket science. I mean, this is kind of rocket science, but it ain't really rocket science. Now, up in the upper right, you got the amount of food meals we have available, our metal, our bioplastic, our medical supplies, and our spare parts. So that all looks good. We got 13 crew. I mean, we just started, and we're already up to 13 crew. Now, we turned off our landing permissions. We're going to turn off the landing pad so we don't burn power with that. But having the number of workers that we have, we're actually going to enable and up. There's a space turd just landed somewhere. Let's see where it is. Now, again, these big, chunky looking rocks here, you can plow right through that by building something. This right here, you can probably plow through, but you can't plow through all of this. You can nip away at the edges by putting stuff close to it, but you're not going to be able to plow through all of it, okay? And what I tried to do here, excuse me for 2 seconds with this. Let me turn this off. Okay, that's better. And it was like effectively hitting a cough button that I don't have. Hanging out in the land of 1,000, I thought it was 10,000 lakes. Did I miss a count change somewhere? All right, mushroom pad's been built. Now we got food going. Well, some. All right, our engineer types need to get over here and get this going. Now we have a bunch of people that are starting to show, you know, hey, they're hungry. Hey, they're thirsty. Okay, I get it. Quit your whining. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and plunk in another deal. The other thing we're going to do is look to start creating meal makers. And our objective here is going to be getting enough variety of food so you can have like a couple of things. And that makes salads. All right. There is help stuff that will get that figured out for you. All right. So now, next thing is people are going to get tired. See the Z above this person's head right here? All right. So as soon as Smedley, the engineer bot here, gets done farting around with that, he'll come over and build this. We're going to throw a couple of bunks in here. Now we got 13 people. The rule on bunks for any given, well, period, you do not want more than half the butts to beds. Okay? So now we're good here. So now it's bunk time. Okay? We're going to squish this here. 1. If you press the, is it the shift button? 2. Yes. All right. 3. Okay? All right. We're going to make 3 bunks. Now, why just 3, A-Train? Well, for one, you don't want more than half your crew sleeping at a given time. You want half of them working, half of them sleeping. That's 1. 2, if a meteor hits the bunkhouse, you don't want everybody in there asleep or more than, you know, half your crew, especially if you don't have redundancy, right? So now we have like 5 biologists and we have like a couple of engineers and we have 1 medic, right? The key here being we need to make sure we've got enough redundancy so if some people get killed, it doesn't take us out of play completely, especially when it comes to biologists. All right. Now, bot dude's going in here. Hopefully he's going to assemble a bunk. Some people are going to come to sleep. And then happiness is not going to look so good right now. See, status very poor. Okay. But that's simply because we're just getting the basics up and running. They're tired. They want to sleep. They'll lay down in the corridors and sleep. They won't be happy about it, but they'll do it. But everybody's getting fed. Everybody's getting hydrated. And now everybody's going to start being able to go to sleep because we got some bunks coming together here as these couple of pieces of bioplastic get delivered. All right. So we are actually not in bad shape. It's just a matter we're going to speed things up because get things cooking along here. This is the basics of the game. All right. And then our next step, once we get a little bit, we'll see we got a couple of ore built up. All right. And then now we're going to have food coming in. And actually, I'm probably going to need more than this because we have a whole bunch of people so quickly. We're going to go ahead and put a lettuce pad in. Now, water is going to become a factor here. All right. And I think we're going to put in a rice pad. Rice baby. But let's see if we can find the... Nope, let's return the game here. Help. If you look at food, and that's going to be under... Interior structures. We need the biodome. Okay. Meal maker. All right. Here is your list. Okay. Wheat plus mushrooms equals pasta. Wheat plus tomatoes equals pasta. What do I have pads for? I have a wheat pad, I have a mushroom pad, and I have a tomato pad. Okay. Rice plus mushrooms plus tomatoes equal pasta. Now I'm about to have rice plus mushrooms and tomatoes equals pasta. Any 3 different vegetables equals a salad. All right. That raises your people's happiness. All right. So now we got the 3 bunks over here. People are getting rested. And now we're just going to have to kind of work through this here for a minute. And our production is going to start cranking up. Now, we got a medicinal plant pad, we got a wheat pad, we got a rice pad, and we got lettuce and tomatoes, which are high demand, high maintenance. They take a lot of water and they take a lot of maintenance. Onions are kind of middle of the road. Mushrooms are low and slow. They're slower on their creation, and then but they're low maintenance. Now, see how the food packets are appearing? Those are going to go get loaded into these machines. And what we're going to do is go ahead and put a second machine in here so that we don't want this room to get glommed up with a ton of food packs. All right. So what happens is you put the see, we got vegetables. We have a basic meal. So you can put something in there or a couple of somethings and it'll make a basic meal. People don't care for basic meals. All right. All right. They want decent meals. So you got onions, you got tomatoes. Now, if another pad produces, and the way this works is your food pads produce 3 food each per cycle. Your starch pads produce 2 food and 1 starch per cycle. Once that gets loaded in the machine here, okay, whatever pops up next, and I think we are going to go ahead and build a radish pad. Yeah, see, now we got food. All right, so let's take this out. Now watch this machine right here. Well, maybe they packed it in. Okay, this is making stuff. Boop, boop, boop. Watch. Boop, boop, boop. Salad, salad, salad. Cha-ching! There you go. All right. That's going to make your people happier. They got a video machine to watch. That makes them happier. They got quality food. Now, you're going to have some basic food, and that's okay. Life goes on. All right. But now, our metal count's going up. Now, we don't have anything to process the starch with yet, so let's go ahead and build a starch processor or bioplastic processor. All right. And we are going to get this upgraded. Yes, if everything is upgraded, then nothing is upgraded. Yes, I know, but we have like 6 people to do it with, right? If we look here at our base management and look at our stats, okay? 13 people. We got 5 workers. Those are the people who work in the mine and work in that production facility to take raw materials and turn them into something else, usable items, or into iron, or into metal and starch into bioplastic. With 5 biologists, they tend to the food, and then they'll also work in the medical bay on the machines to create Vitrameat. Okay, we have 2 engineers, plus we have the engineer bot to back him up. That's this one. Okay, biodome is out of the water. All right, that I expected to happen. All right, so now what we're going to look to do is get out of that, build a second water extractor. Yep. I'm actually going to build this right here because we got 2 connections available. All right. Now, yep, I get it. Let's up this. Boom. Get that built. That's going to take 2 metal and then a 3rd metal for this connection here. So now that's up. Now, hopefully he creates a connection. Boom, confetti. Problem solved. You can look at that in your management stuff, like right here, your grids. Okay. Water. This consumes 4 and produces 11. All right. So now we've got water up and going. Now this, we're using 38 and we're producing 68. Now, once the sun goes down, that's going to drop off, right? So we can do a couple of different things here. One thing we can't do at the moment is take this out of play. So something to consider in your base design is, we got a hurt person here. So that's a worker who's jacked up, and we need to get a med bay built. So we're going to do that right now. Med bay. Actually, right here would probably be a good place for this. Actually, a lab there. Med bay can go. Oh, you know what? Nope, this is fine. This is fine. I think I want to build a laboratory first, even if it's a small one. Do we have, barely. We don't have enough to do both. Okay, so we are going to build a med bay, a sick bay. We'll just do this right here, and it's going to be temporary. All right. Now, see how our power's bled down? Okay. We're using 33 at night. When we have no sun, we're using 38, we're only producing 33, and the winds were up. Okay. So that becomes a concern, because if the wind's not up, you're kind of screwed. All right. So let's get the med bay built so we can get our person healed and back in business. Okay. We need one metal brought over here to complete this corridor. And then we can build a bed, and we're going to build a medical cabinet. Although I don't think we have the bioplastic available to do it. We have one. We just have nowhere to take it right now. And now it's going to get used. So this is good. So we're going to put a bed here. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and order up this to be built. Now, what is that, A-Train? Oops. Actually, we're going to belay that order. We're going to put this here. The medical cabinets, they will bring these medical kits in and put them in the medical cabinet, okay? Because if you go and, let me click on, Doc's going to grab the medical kit and go take care of that person. See how they're in good shape? Everything outside is degrading. So you got to get it into storage at some point. You want to get it inside. Right now, we don't have, oh, we got another hurt person too. Damn it. But we got one of them back up and healed. So that's good. So here we've got 3 starch loaded up. We need a knucklehead to come in, and how much? We've got a lot of ore sitting here. So we're going to shut the mine down because we don't want anybody getting hurt either. We're going to build a second ore processor here. Okay. We're going to build a second bioplastic processor here. That's going to use 2 of the metal we have. All right. But that's also going to get more stuff done. Now, I was talking about redundancy. Okay. We only have one path here connecting all of our production power infrastructure into the base. What we need to do is establish a second path. And what we'll do to do that is, well, it's complicated. There's a couple ways you can do it. Okay, you can use these basic pads. See how that connects? That's going to take 3 metal though, 1 for the pad and 1 for each connection arm. All right, but that's one way you could do this, and what that allows then is redundancy for you to do things like upgrade. Like I could take this out and make a bigger one in its place. Does that make sense? Okay. So you want to create a ring of services. If a meteor comes in and hits this connection right here, the base is going to be without power until that connection is repaired. Well, you've got to make sure you've got materials and an engineer available to repair that section. All right. So we're going to look to create another connection. Now, everybody's back up and working, so this is good. And we're going to bleed down some of this. Now, our machines, what's going to happen is they're going to pack 3 ore in there, and then they're going to create metal. Once the metal is made, they're going to leave it there because I don't have somewhere to take it. So for now, what we're going to do, this is all like this. Let's try a temporary small storage facility, maybe here. Okay. Now, the issue gets to be here is that the airlock's over here, and this is way the hell over here. So it's a road trip for these people to take crap around there. That's why you got to have lots of bots eventually. All right. Now, we're full up on power. We're coming into dusk. All right. And this is where it helps to have some redundancy in the power aspect of things. And so we're going to actually make that right now. Not there. We're going to do the exterior stuff. We could do a small one. I'm going to go ahead and do a bigger one, and we could actually stretch this over here. Can we stretchy, stretchy? Stretchy, stretchy. Come on, find that right spot. Find that sweet spot. There's the sweet spot. Okay, not saying this is going to be the end all of this, but this is a medium power collector, which will hold another 7,500 kilowatts of power. So that's going to double our storage capacity, okay? But what it's doing also, though, is creating another path from here to here. Because the way I've got this set up is a little goofy right now. We'll still have to create a connection over here. But what I think we may do instead is dismantle this wind turbine and build another one over on this side. connected here. Then we can upgrade stuff over here, and everything flows back into the base through the back way as opposed to the front way. It's like if you got a way out of your neighborhood, it's better to have two ways out of your neighborhood in case, you know, maybe there's a crash on the first way. Now, as soon as Smedley, there he does. So, see, now he's good. Now he's going to connect this, and then this one's going to start storing power, because what's happening is come the end of the day, and you can see the day progress right here. This thing's filled up, or it's almost filled up, right? Once it's filled up, your power production is just maintaining. Well, now we're going to capture, so we have more to work with later, right? Now we need to go back into production here to give our people stuff to do, but there's metal there and there. Now we have storage, so that's going to get crap in from outside, which is great. But we also need to start looking at making componentry. All right. Oh, that was close. Where'd that land? Space turd. Oh, maybe it's over the mountain. Is it over the mountain? Where'd it land? I heard it sound like it was behind me. Oh, there it is, right there. That's great. Anyway, all right. So you see what I'm saying? All right, we're at the end of the day. Now, wind's fallen off, right? But this is still picking up power. All right. So now we've supplemented our original 7,500 storage with all this. Now, what we could do to help things at night is we could shut the mine down, because it uses 4.5 power. And you see here, we're only producing 8 because the wind died on us. But we've got extra storage capacity, which saves us. All right, makes sense? Excuse me. All right. So now, things are coming along. Let's see how people are feeling about life. We're at good status. We could start bringing in more crew. Now, we got another person who's hurt. Okay, so what do we need to do about that? Well, we need more crew. All right. Now, I'm not going to fire up the landing pad at night because it uses a lot of power. All right. So we're going to keep our power focused. So we're bleeding down very fast here because the wind died. Now the wind picked up. It's dawn. It takes a minute for this to track around, because hopefully they fix that in Planetbase 2. I mean, you at this point are going to know which direction the local star is rising. So why not just go ahead and have the thing turned around there before it comes up? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, duh, it's going to be there. So our objective now, and this is going to be tricky because it has so much power to get built up, is get this filled up and then pump some more power back into this, because that's our reserve right now. Now, I've got some ore. I got nobody working on the ore. Why is nobody working on the ore? Because everybody's working in the mine making ore. So you build up an ore stockpile, and your workers, of which we have 5, and we may have 1 still hurt. I don't know. Nope. Everybody's in business. All right. Your workers work either in the mine or in the processing plant. Okay. If you start stockpiling ore, and it starts piling up outside here, which in this case, Smedley's picking up and either taking it to stuff in a machine or he's putting it in here. In this case, because we have storage, which is going to be getting pretty full pretty quick. We have storage, so we can start stockpiling stuff. Like, we've got tons of food right now. Tons of food. Okay? That's a lot. And so we could feed more mouths. Now, to help our storage situation, we can do that. Oh, we got a sandstorm. Darude. Do, 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 do. All right, we're going to power down the mine and have everybody get back inside. Okay? Now, this thing's going to be spinning at top speed after the ice cream man. We're losing power. It's nighttime, but we're not losing too fast because this is maxed out. So your benefit during a sandstorm, you lose solar power, but you maximize wind power. So you've got to have, both options available. All right. So now everyone can come inside and work. We're burning up a little bit of our stored stuff. Okay. We got another hurt troop over here. Where do we want to put the laboratory? Actually, I think we're going to put the laboratory here. And we're going to go ahead, I think, and do a bigger one. No, we don't need a big one. You don't need a big one initially. So save your resources. It's going to take 2 bioplastic to do this anyway. But we're going to go ahead and connect it here. Okay. But one thing we can do is shut down the airlock. That saves a little more power as well until the storm passes. Now, we dropped out of warp speed because an emergency came up. Notice everything is back inside, so we're good there. We're at minimal power usage. See the bot dropped this off right here. And all right, now the storm has abated, so now we can power things back up. Our power is actually in pretty good shape. See, now as we come into dawn here, although it's bleeding off kind of quickly, right? That was close. Space turd. Now it's recovering. And it's recovering quickly, so now we should be able to get this one closer to topped off. All right. Another thing we can look to do now is we're starting to stockpile stuff like vegetables and medicinal plants. All right. We can power up, and now we're going to look at our use versus, okay. We need to look at well, shoot, we just lost the wind too. Okay. We need that wind to pick up. But now this is almost filled up, and now we're going to have more in reserve, which is great, okay? All right, so there's some of our simple stuff. Now, in here, we want to put in a deal, okay? We can also put in, we don't have much for this, but let's put it over here for now. We're only going to do one. This is Vitrameat. So this is where your Medic works, and they'll take the medicinal plant leaves and a bioplastic, and they'll make medical supplies. Okay? So that's trade bait. All right, so keep that in mind. All right? So we got butts to beds. We got basically 6 beds for 13 butts. We could put another bed in, but we really don't need to. Everybody's rested. Everybody's got a place to go sleep. All right? We're out of ore, so we need to fire this back up. We could shut this down. Actually, I'm going to shut this. And see, this is almost filled up too. I'm going to shut the landing pad back down at night. And we have the power. What I want to do is look to go to a big Let's see where I can put this. This actually may be a good place for now. Come on. Come on. Give me the connection. All right. We want all the metal going to this. Now, this is going to take 8 total metal. We've got what we need. We got 6 on hand plus 2. All right. Now, see, our spare parts are starting to drop off a little bit. That's why we need to get our factory up and going. Now, this right here is producing chicken. You can choose chicken, beef, or piggy. And we're just going to stick with... Oh, wait. No, sorry. The lab also uses some water. So, again, you got to have some redundancy in that regard. All right. So, look at your grid and say water. We're producing 11. We're only using 4.5. That's good. Power, we're barely above. But as soon as this comes online, and we need 2 more metal for that, then we'll be kicking ass and taking names. I'm going to let them finish this particular one, and then we're going to shut it down and get them all working on producing stuff, because we got starch that needs to be processed as well. Okay? So everybody out of the mine, go work here. That'll save our power situation, because we got no wind right now. And it's the end of the day. See how depleted this is? Now, they need one more metal over here, so we're not going to get any use out of this solar panel until tomorrow. And that's why I need to establish a new connection over here. But we're going to do that a little bit different, I think. Darn it, I can't squish that in there. Okay, that's fine. All right, we're into our reserves, but we're most of the way through the night. And now, first thing in the morning, this thing is going to be kicking ass, all right? So, we're bleeding down very quickly because there's no wind. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to shut down that and that and the lab. Okay? And we're probably going to bleed out of power. Yeah, we're out of power. But, sun's up. Guess what we're doing? This guy's producing all the power for the base. So, we're back in business. Okay? That was to the left. There it is. Ugh. All right, so now. And why is this showing nothing going on here? What's the problem? There it is. Holy shnikey. How did I have that turned off somehow? That was weird. Whoops. Back up. Power that back up. Yeah, we got a bot that needs some maintenance. All right. So now we're rolling. Now this should fill up here pretty quick. See here? Boom, boom, boom. All good. All right. We're going to power the mine back up. And then we got to start looking at our factory situation. Okay. Also, the benefit of having the laboratory is we can start making medical supplies. And in that case, see what I want to do here is... what I want to do here... So we're going to change the dorm position, okay, to over here. Okay. Why are you doing that, A-Train? Because I want to replace the current dorm location with the factory. Then it's adjacent to the processing plant right here. So what will, and then we're going to make this connection across here. Or we'll then come in here and go to here. Starch will create here and go straight across to here. That stuff then can go into the factory to make new stuff. And we can probably connect it across to storage, which then is where it's going to wind up. Okay? Makes sense? Now, we're in daylight. We have power kicking ass and taking names. All right. Power the pad up. Let's look at our landing permissions. We want colonists. We want a medic. Okay. We have, you really in the end, you need the most biologists, most of your biologists and workers. You want redundancy with your engineers and your medics, and then security. Okay? With an excellent rating, you can expect to get up to 3 colonists when a ship comes in. Okay? Now, what we're looking to do is start catching up with our production. This is built... Now, what we can do here is we can recycle some of this stuff, okay, to move it over to that spot. Okay. Ah, crew. Hooray. What do we get? What do we get? What do we get? We got a medic. Okay. Medic! We slipped to good status. Good status means you're only going to get like one person. But that's okay. That takes care of our redundancy for medics, right? So now, there we go. We want another engineer because it is possible that 2 engineers could be in there and get zapped. We're going to remove this one. We get some of the materials back, but not all. You will not get the materials back for the corridor. Okay. Storage here is pretty full. All right. We can work with that. And the only thing I really don't like is you can't just put in, it's like we need to build a factory. We can't build it here because that crap's laying on the ground. So people or bots have to come out and get that stuff. And it's a pain. Now, let's talk oxygen for a second. Our O2 production is good for 14 people out of 30. So the larger of the two will do 30 people. So you don't have to mess around with it for a bit. Oh, what do we got here? All right, we got a worker, a worker and an engineer. All right, that's good. 5 biologists right now is actually pretty good. We may hold with where we are. 6, 5, 3, 2, yeah. We're going to hold with this right now. So we're going to actually shut down colonists and get some traders going so we can start making some coin. But we do need to get workers working in here more than in here. So that extra worker helps because that's what, 6? Yeah, so 3 could be working, 3 could be sleeping, whatever. It all shakes out in the wash. Also, what we need is the ability to start building bots. That's going to be a big help. Now, my typical base design, we have it kind of lining up the right way, although we've got a lot of, oh good God. All this goes away, this goes away, this goes away, this will not go away, this goes away, that goes away, that all goes away. This will be close, we can nip away at it, this will not go away, and you can cut through here. So base expansion needs to be that direction, I think. Although we've got room to come this way as well. And we've got room to go that way. Okay? And we've got room to go this way. See that? That's why it helps to be able to understand the planet when you're first starting up the game and you're looking to figure out where you're going to put your base. All right, we've got some metal coming in. This stuff still hasn't been picked up. Somebody go pick it up, please. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Something we can look to do here, although I want to build a bigger one of these first, is... see, we have so much food stockpiled. We don't need to add any more food production. Until this number starts getting low and we have meat. See, we have meals. Meals. Basic is no good. Salads are good. Whoa, 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 whoa. Nope. All right, let's see what our handy-dandy trader dude's got going here. Aha! First thing we need to do is see what the percentage of the cost is going to be. 50% commission or lower is good. 60, 65 is no bueno. Unless it's an emergency and you absolutely have to have an item. Okay? So, we are going to look to trade out and clear out some of our storage with as much as we can. This is what the trader has. This is what we have. What we could use is this bot. So now we've got to get 240 coins to match that. So we only have one production station for this. Okay? All right, there's 50. And you can't exceed their cargo capacity. Okay? So this is going to be tricky. I don't know if we're going to be able to pull anything off here. All right, that just put them one over, which is fine. Oh, we can take coins too. So we can get to 180. We need something that makes a lot of money. Well, here's 50 if we do that. But then we got to back something down. So we go to cheap stuff. We need 20 more. Okay. Let's take out one of these and put in spare parts. We're at 230. Okay. We need 10 more coins of value here. We take out 2 of these, put in 1 of these, and we can put in 1 more of these. Boom. That gets us another constructor bot. Trade. That backs us up on the engineering side. Constructor bots repair things, build things, and fix other bots, and they'll carry stuff around. Okay? This is going to help clear out our storage a little bit. Okay? We're paying a little bit of a hefty price at 50%, but it works. Okay? And then we just need this area here. We're going to raise our priority on this. We need our medic. I think we got a second medic in, didn't we not? I feel like we did. We did. So we need our medic, one of them, to get their butt in here and start working. You want to get a bot shop going. We got to get spare parts going first, though. So this stuff, I may have to do something I don't want to do, and that's destroy it. The other thing I am going to do, because this is pissing me off, is we're going to look to build a new med bay right here. Now, your people don't like carrying crap around. All right, so now somebody finally decided to pull their head out, come out here and say, oh, look, there's stuff to pick up out there. Let's go get it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. But what I had to do was create something for them to go build. All right? And what I did there is just freed up some resources. All right, so now this area is going to be clear. Finally, we can build the factory, okay? I am going to go ahead and punch it. Come on. Actually, no, this is good. This is really good if I can get right there. Like that. And then pull over this way. Good. We can connect that, and then we can connect this. Okay? We can connect everything. All right? All right. So now we're going to actually decommission this. Take this out. Take all that out. We've run out of spares. I gotcha. Okay? Acknowledged. We're going to take care of it. Okay? Just a minimal amount of facilities for your medical facilities at early game, right? So the key now is to get this built, and then we're going to get our engineers to work, which we got 2 to work with. We're probably going to need more. Where are we at? We're good. We got 3. Okay. 3 works, because that's the only thing we have for engineers to do aside from building or repairing stuff. Okay. And we have a second builder bot for that. So that's an extra set of robotic arms to do the jobs, because humans don't want to carry crap. All right, here's another thing. All right, now this here, first thing we want to do is build a spare parts machine. Okay. And that is going to be high priority. All right, let's see what this guy wants. First off, 60% commission. Nope, thank you. Please drive through. Dismissed, Hogan. Okay. Now, notice it's still afternoon. Our power is maxed out. Okay. Now, one thing we've done here, let's actually do this. Let's shut this down. Let's get into full-on production mode. Now we got someone making spares. It takes 1 metal and 1 bioplastic, and that makes 2 spare parts. Okay. I hear you. So we could connect these together. But right now, although it's a little bit of a pain in the butt, I kind of want to keep this set up here. Okay. we could make it easier to run stuff back and forth by bridging this to this to this, but that would take 2 metal and 2 bioplastic. You see us having any metal and bioplastic at the moment? No. But you know what we got now? Spare parts. So Fredo here is on his way out to fix something up. And that's that. All right. So now that's done. We have a whole bunch of ore, though, and we're processing basically on every machine. Well, almost all the machines right now. Also notice we still have a ton of food. So we're going to re-enable, and we're going to go for, oh, shoot. Okay, so the mine's closed down. We're going to shut down that, and we're going to shut down the airlock because hopefully everybody's inside. Boom. We're going to trap everyone inside. Now, once you build the security office, you have the ability to declare a yellow or a red alert, and that will get everybody back inside. Okay? That, then you don't have to worry about turning off the airlock. But you got to make sure everybody's inside when something comes along. Also, once it starts, you got to kick the game speed back up. Space turd. Because what I'm wanting to do now is build up some metal. Okay. Now, basically, we're into the next day, which sucks. But now, all right, fire it up. We're back in business. And we're going to fire up the landing pad. And we're going to try to get some more workers in here. Mainly workers, but engineers are good too. Now, if we want to save a little bit of power, we don't need to save a little bit of power. If we wanted to, we could power down the sick bay. But we're max power right now. Okay. Now, with the amount, okay. See how the wind just died? You know what? We're going to take advantage of that. We got, all right, we just got another engineer in. Super. That's good. All right, so I'm feeling good about our engineer status. Now we got 4, okay? So we're going to go back here, and we're going to actually do that. We want workers, okay? We want people to process crap. And now we got some more efficient wind turbine coming up. We cleared up this space. We've almost eliminated our little kind of issue we had going over here, because what I want to start doing is looking to move like this power storage. I'm gonna put a bigger power collector here. This is the biggest water thing we can do until we unlock the patent, or we get to buy the patent for the bigger one. Okay, so as soon as this is out of power, we're going to dismantle it. Boom. Now we're almost through the night. This one's up, and as soon as this gets over here, those materials here can now get carried over here and put into the new one. All right, this is probably where we stop. All right, we got us another worker. Okay. Let's go ahead and stop that. We will bring in another trade ship. Okay. So now, we're maxed out on power. We just need this built. So these guys over here can quit picking their noses. Here comes Smedley. He's going to come over here and build our new collector, which has a capacity of 12,500. Yeah. So we just upped our capacity quite a bit. We went from 7,500, which was 15,000 total. We're going to go to 22,500. All right. The other thing I hope we can do here is that right there. And that's going to allow us, once that connection's made, to take this one out and then move it like over there. You see what I'm saying? Then it opens up space for us to build out the base, right? And we can take it out of play without, well, you have to have a connection to everything. You can't, and that's something the new game is going to allow you to do, is build multiple bases. I think it's going to basically take the solar system, our solar system, and set it up so that you can build on the moon or Mars or the moons of Jupiter and stuff like that. And it looks pretty cool. So make sure to go check that out. All right, here's a trade ship lollipop. 65% commission. Dismissed. Get out of here, jerk. All right. Now, we have 18 butts. So I'm going to go ahead and build 2 more bunks. All right. So we'll have a maximum of 10 people, and hopefully not everybody is sleeping at the same time that's in the same department. Does that make sense? Because if that gets hit, we're screwed. The other thing we can look to do is kick this back on. Okay. And now the wind dies. So at night, we're now maximum power drain. I'm going to shut that down. Excuse me. And then the next step here will also be let's see. We have options here now. Options are always good. I like options. All right, this is 96% storage, so we need to get a trade ship in here. So let's go ahead and power the landing pad back up, because now power's coming back up with the sun up. And you look at this, you'll see. Oxygen, we got room for 12 more people. Power, we're producing 140, 62. And the 140 is a variable based on this guy right here. That's the only thing. So the big one produces 80 power, and the smaller one produces 50. So solar panel wise, we produce 130 kilowatts. The variable is the wind turbine, which will produce up to 50 depending on how the wind is blowing, if things blow or not. All right, so now let's take a look at our happiness. Excellent, great. You know what? We've got food redundancy. We could do a little simple, I'm just going to seem stupid. Actually, let's add one more starch production pad. Well, let's not, yeah, we need starch. I'm going to do the P pad because it's fast. It's faster and high maintenance. Okay. But now, if we check our water, we should be still plenty good. Okay. Okay, here comes trade ship. Now, hopefully one of these people will be decent here in a minute. Okay, this is a good trader. All right, so if anything, we just want to sell crap. Whoops, I was not hitting the right button. Okay. Now, we outvalue what they have. Now, we got a couple of options here, but really I don't want to fart around with options, really. All I want to do is clear out some of our storage. Actually, let's just do like... There. Trade. Now, our people are going to have to run that out, and they're not going to like that too much, but tough shitesky. Okay. We're going to build a bot shop. And it's just a small one. That's all you need, really, till later in the game. Okay. Just build a small bot shop. We'll prioritize that. We're going to take people out of the mine for now and get them to work in here. We need bioplastic, and that's why I built the P pad. And we can actually build a potato pad here. That will increase our food and starch production, so that'll double our starch production per cycle. Because we only have one starch, we have no bioplastic stored up. Now, there's a couple of things you can do from a strategy standpoint. If you're out of storage space, which we've just pretty well cleared out, you can build more food machines, and you can build things that are going to store resources for you. What does that mean, A-Train? Well, what it means is if I build a bunk over here, or if I build a bed over here, okay, that's one bioplastic. It's tied up. But I don't need another bed So if I needed that bioplastic, boom, I just recycled the bed, and then that bioplastic is here, not here. I know that seems weird, but, you know, that's how it works. That's how baseball go. So we got 7 workers, 5 biologists. That's a good ratio. 4 engineers, 2 medics. Okay. And we got 3 bots going so far. Once we get the bot shop up and going, which we can't do until we have bioplastic. So right now we have spares. So right now I'm going to shut this machine down because I'm going to shut this one down too. Actually, I'm not going to shut that down. We want semiconductors because you got to have semiconductors to make bots. And we got one knucklehead over here who is not happy. So a consideration may be to build a multi-dome. Actually, if we're going to build a multi-dome, we don't want to build the smallest. We want to build the second size because then you can put in the running machine. This isn't the ideal place to put it. But if it's stupid, but it works, it's not stupid. Okay. Now, let's see what this trader wants. Ah, this trader has stuff we can use. 60% commission. All right. Desperate times, folks. We need bioplastic. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. Shift. It's the shift key, moron. Okay. There's 50. Okay. Throw out 10 of those. Throw out. Boom. Now we're past it. That's okay. We don't have any metal either, so let's grab a couple of those, maybe 3. You know what? No, put 1 back and then give me coin change. Oh shoot, I'm gonna have to. Dang it, I'm gonna have to do 1 anyway. Where are we at? All right, so that needs to go. That needs to dip. Okay, 192 versus 200. Then we'll just pull in. Boom. Okay. This is going to clear out storage. People are not going to be thrilled about it because they have to carry a bunch of crap all over the place. But it's going to clear out storage. And it's going to give us stuff we need to build more stuff. All right? So that's how you can work your trades to, you know, benefit the facility. All right? The one thing we could... Nope. Priority is this, is get the bot shop up and going. I'm almost looking at taking this out and putting a bigger one right here to bridge this gap. Yeah, people are not going to be happy. But that's okay. They'll get over it. And this is why I typically build the way you guys have seen if you've watched previous videos. You have your landing pads, then you have the airlocks off of the O2 generator. Okay? Then you have a security office, and then you have storage behind that. So if people are having to shuttle stuff from storage to the ships for trading, it's the shortest distance possible. Right now, they're literally having to go all the way across the base. Though, if this were built in my design I just mentioned, okay, it would almost be as far because you have to go through multiple things. You want security between the airlocks, the landing pads, airlocks, and your people. Because the security officers are the ones with the guns, and they're the ones who will kill the bad guys when bad guys show up. And bad guys will show up. Now our robotics facility is up. Hooray and huzzah. So now, we're going to do 2 things. We're going to build a bot auto repair here and a bot shop here. Okay. This thing right here is not ready yet. Engineers need to get on it. We got engineers, so but they're busy running stuff back and forth because we need more carrier bots to run stuff back and forth, right? General Havoc, howdy, howdy. Welcome aboard. Would it be better to put the storage in between the med bay and O2 with an extra connection to the plants? I can make the connection. Just like that. So that eliminates what, and what he's referring to is if a meteor were to hit this connection here, it kind of takes all this out until it's restored and put back into play. All right, here's a med trader, not who we want to deal with. 45% commission's not bad. Nope, not that button, not that. Hit that button. Hit 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. Take 10 of those. Let's just clear the shite out. Okay. So value's 140. We're going to try to take all their money. It's 130. Boom, boom. Done. So we're going to create some redundancy here. And besides, what this will do is make it more efficient for the workers to carry, or the bots, to carry starch from the starchy plants here to these bioplastic processors here. Okay, that's how that works. Now, I've not established this connection yet because my intention is to make the bigger one of these right here. Hopefully, we'll see. At which point I may be looking to move this airlock over here, because then that would free up space to make an airlock directly off of the processing facility, which then shortens the turn time here. So instead of going here to here to here, you go and your ore is right into the machines. Make sense? I thought so. So for now, we're not really producing a whole lot. Aha, carrier bots. Yes. Make carrier bots. All right, engineers. Let's see what we got in the machines here. Salads. All right, salads are good. We should have some pasta here too. Salads. I don't care. It doesn't matter. They don't have different. There you go. So you got salads. You got pasta. Basics no good. And then our next big thing we're going to be looking to do is build a workout facility. Hopefully this is almost done. Cool. Get out of here. And there's still some bioplastic sitting out there for some dumb reason. Like, you know. All right, so now it's a matter of patience. Okay, we have enough crew to do the things we want to do. 7542, that's good. We got redundancy in every position. All right, we got bots. We got redundancy here, which is critical. The more of these we get going, though, the less work these people have to do, the happier they will be. So if we needed one person right now, it would probably be arguably a biologist, but I'm going to say it's another worker or engineer. Whoops. Now you see, you use the subtract, it goes down to the next level. So let's do that, and we'll see what we get. We need another engineer, though. So with that as a consideration, let's actually just punch this up. And maybe we'll get an engineer. But now you just got to be a little bit patient and let your stockpiles of stuff start building up. I could get these medical supplies out of here by building another cabinet over here. All right, see how that's full? I'll take that bioplastic in off of here. And see, we've got spare parts coming in to play, which is great. We're not using right here. We can get these medical supplies out of here. Medicinal leaves will get processed in the lab. So, General, how are you? Here we go. Cruise ship Lollipop. What do we get? Ah, we got an engineer. Excellent. All right, that means more production here and here. So, More redundancy in the work here. Okay. And we want more engineers because we do want the spare parts, but we also want more workers because then we have here and here. We want more biologists working here to get stuff to them and to here to eat. Right? But we want to stockpile our building materials because we're going to want to decommission this. Oh, shoot. All right, everybody inside. Inside. Get inside. Thank you. So daylight, we're not going to have the benefit of the solar panels for a few more minutes. We still have full power here. This is actually bleeding off 14 because this is maxed out at 50. It's okay. The sandstorm's going to pass here in a second, and we're going to be back up to speed. As soon as this starts dropping off, see how it dropped off? Now we're good. At that point, the music drops off last. We want to stockpile stuff so we can enlarge this processing facility here. That's our next next target. Power is already basically back up to full power. Yeah. So that's good. Good. We should be able to get one worker, hopefully. Oh, we got biologists. That's okay. But now, we're going to say, okay, we don't need more biologists. We need workers. Or an engineer. We'll go there. And we're going to need spare parts. So let's go ahead and power this back up. We have some bioplastics starting to stockpile, which is terrific. And we're almost to a carrier bot. This guy should get us through to this carrier bot being complete, which would be fantastic. Your bots are only good for so long anyway. Yeah, no kidding, right? It looks good so far. It looks to me like they said, you know, and they say this, they're not going to, it's not going to be basically an expansion of the existing one, which I don't know necessarily how coding works in that regard. So they're making a brand new game, but it's going to be similar to this, and they're going to add more features. There's going to be a buggy, there's going to be more management, more, you know, the solar system to work with. So they're, it looks really good. All right, that is a worker. Very good. All right, so we got 21 people. We got bedding for 10 at a given time. That's good. We're going to need to start looking at building another O2 generator here before long. Let's look at our water grid. Water grid's still good. Oxygen, just covered that. Power's looking good. Okay. So we just got to get some more of this. And once we stockpile, oh, was that our, that was our constructor bot. Okay. So we just lost our original constructor bot, which means we're probably going to lose our original carrier bot pretty soon as well. They go through so many cycles before they die. All right, we are going to go ahead then and do this. This being let me get this built. All right, that looks like we just got another worker in. 9, 6, 5, 2, yeah. I think that's good for now. All right, so now we'll look to start trading off some of this stockpiling stuff. This is going to work on pushing the happiness up. Once people can exercise, then they're in really good shape, so to speak. You made a funny A-train, you didn't even know it. Ted! What's happening, buddy? How are you? I was just up your way last week, dude. I was up in Minnehaha. I think you're up that way. Trade ship. Okay, what's this? 60% commission. Dickhead. We don't need anything from this guy. This would be great if I could afford it, but now it's 60% commission. 160 for another builder bot. Let's look at clearing out 10, 20. That's 100. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 200. 200. Okay, that'll do. Let's get another builder bot in here. Paid a little extra for him, but, you know. Now, we're about to have us another little carrier bot, which, again, this is going to replace the one of these two, which are going to die here pretty soon. You see, you can click on your bot and see his condition is excellent. When his condition runs down, and then there's his integrity. When the condition runs down, then they get repaired back up to full, and their integrity drops 3, like there's like 6 cycles or so that they can go through before they go kaput. All right, let's get this built up. We got stuff. Yes, this will work. And this is going to use a bunch of bioplastic that we don't currently have, but it's going to help happiness, and that'll be good. Plus, we're creating a redundant watering station. We've got 2 here. We've got 1 there now. I don't know. I don't think there's enough room to do this. Oh, shoot. There is room. Look at that. We don't need to, though. That'd just be a waste. But now, see how many people are in there farting around? Whoa! Hey, remember we talked about redundancy and connections earlier? Yeah. Screw you, Meteor. Now, remind me, well, don't remind me, it's here. Let's turn this off. I want to drain this guy down. Okay? And then we're going to delete it, and we're going to put a bigger one in over here. I know eventually we're going to get to this. We are going to get to it. But right now we're working on our power infrastructure, improving that. And we got some people who are unhappy over here. But they need to go pump some iron and have a Coke and a smile, shut the F up. So, what the hell? Oh, that's drained. All right. That means you can power back up, and you can get deleted. And then you can go right there. Now, that stuff will get moved there. What's your story? 40% commission. Okay, that's reasonable, but I really don't have anything to trade you right now. I mean, I want to get a little something, something. No, not that. Come back here. Trade you that. Trade you 10 of those. Give me some cash. Really? Jerk. Piss off. Okay. So now we should have 3 carrier bots to run stuff around. And a 4th one should be in progress here pretty soon. Yep, power storage is low, but that's okay because it's now cranking up, and now we're about to start kicking ass and taking names. Yep, see, there we go. There's that connection, and there's that connection. So now we got our We called in telecom, you call this a sonnet loop. Because if one area gets shut down, everything just routes the other direction. So Thad, what's shaking, buddy? How are you? People are happy, but they could be happier. What is the major malfunction? Numbnuts. So we got salads. We got salads. That's going to make more salads. Boom. All salad. All right. Here I feel like now we're into the patient game. Now, as soon as this finishes up, we're going to shut this down because we're going to have like 7 spare parts, and you only use spare parts on these. Okay? Your power units, it's your production pieces that move. All right? Okay, good. So there's 2 spare parts in there. Hopefully they won't go putting bioplastic in it. This guy's cooking along. And we just want to make more bioplastic. It'd be, oh, somebody's hurt again. Yeah, I got a freaking OSHA report to write now. Damn it. Thanks. Be safer next time. We're going to build that. Yep, I know. I know. I hear you. You're like, A-Train, how the hell are you ever going to upgrade your production facility if you keep using the materials? This is true. But at the moment, now we have storage capacity for 25,000 kilowatts of power. And now we have another way to help. Whoa! That was close. Luckily, the engineer was in there and able to get that right back up. That would have been unfortunate if we lost somebody there, but we did not. Okay, what's your story, dude? 40% commission. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. Actually, this may be... What would that cost me? 224? 3 spare parts is, well, now I need 4, but that, one of those is brand new, so it's not going to need one anytime soon. That's 130. Give me a driller bot. See? See, here's another snapper head that wasn't frickin' looking where they were doing and got their face smushed in or something. All right, now we're about to help alleviate some of that by getting this driller bot. We just had another carrier bot come into the fleet. So now we have 4 of them. That's good. Good stuff's right there. Carrier bots free up humans to do work. And the driller bots free up workers to do production. It's Mo Better. Mo better, you bet. So, Minnesota last week was great. 20 degrees cooler there than it is here in Dallas, which was super nice. Good job. We got it done in 3 days. We drove up on Monday. We drove back on Friday. Yes, we drove. We had to take the trucks to take all our crap. But it was nice. They had us in a nice Airbnb. There were 5 of us. There were 6 bedrooms. And I don't know, one of the guys slept on the couch for some goofy reason, but whatever. See, damn it. Now, guy's hurt again. We have ore built up. Y'all get out of here. Go make stuff. What are we waiting on here? 1 spare part. Someone want to volunteer to take that out there, please? Or we're going to get screwed. because nobody's going to get the spare part to take it. And he's going to dump all his crap on the pad, and then we're going to... Oh, this is a bug they needed to fix a long time ago. We're essentially in vapor lock. Let me try something here. Let me try... Okay. Food production now is getting to be a little bit of an issue. Not a big issue. A little bit of an issue. We're going to put another tomato pad in. And for sake of discussion... Wait, I think I've already got a radish pad. That's this right here, right? That's onions. That's radishes. Okay. We're going to do a mater pad. And maybe another rice baby pad. Okay. Okay. So what's the issue here? The issue is this guy's still waiting on one stinking thing and nobody's taking it to him. So what I want to do is save the game, okay? Exit, and then continue. This should load us back in, all right? Now, hopefully, it's going to say, hey, what do we got going on? Oh, somebody needs to take this out to that ship. Hopefully. Because we're going to lose our driller by... Oh, wait. I see a spare part on the move. I see a spare part on the move. I see a spare part on the move. The wrong direction. Thanks, dumbass. Oh, wait. Is that a spare part on the move? That is not. That's metal. Oh, y'all are killing me, Smalls. Somebody go load the ship. Crap. No, we're going to lose that trade. And then that schmutz is going to be all over the ground out there. Thanks, jerk faces. Appreciate y'all not doing your jobs. Oh, wait. Up. Oh, really? You took it right by there. You took it right by where it needed to go. Psych. Frickin' Smedleys are running around doing nothing. Dudes, go pick up the spare parts and go take it out to the ship. You got one right there. Crap. A-holes. No. Just dump your shit and go. I'm sorry. My crew is incompetent. There's nothing I can do to force that either. Go. Just go. Thank you. All right, shitheads. Go out there and pick up all the stuff. Move it back. You wasted your time carrying it. That's on you. Idiots. Well, okay. Maybe this will work out. 40%. Okay. We're not going to get anything we want out of it, but... Oh, nope. That... 100 coins. Do one of those. 5 of those. All right, y'all go run stuff now. Uh-huh. This is on you. The beatings will continue until morale improves. Dickheads. I build you a bunch of carrier bots, and not a one of you can take the initiative to carry one stinking thing out to the ship so we can get you a driller bot so one of you dumbasses don't have to be in the mine. Nope. That was too difficult. Stupid asses. All right, Madruga, make sure to fix that, please. They said that a lot of stuff is going to be... What's the verbiage they used on this? They're going to make so management is easier, and You won't have to micromanage so much, which is terrific. That's a great idea. All right, do we have, well, we should. Yeah, we got food coming in. We got meals. Zoom. All right, cool. We got some more cash. Cash is good. If you get about 600, 500, 600 coins, then when you get one of the nice things comes in, like the patents, then you can just outright buy it. You don't have to fart around with it. Just buy the patent. Bip, see it. I mean, and you don't want to pay 55 or above on a commission. So we don't have a lot of meat. I don't know if we're getting burgers in the deal here. Basics, salads. There's chicken. What was the... Oops, no, that's not it. Oh, the thing that says help. We gotta go to structures, interior, biodome, meal maker. Wheat plus any meat equals burger, and we don't have maize. So we do have wheat. So our next big thing is going to be to make this bigger, in which case we'll have to just move the med bay. We'll have to relocate the cabin. Not a big deal. But our priority, because I feel like we're still ahead on food production. We're more balanced than we were before. You know what we're going to do? Actually, we're going to do it over here. Well, shoot. I'm going to do... Oh, you know what? The lab would be a better place to do that. Maybe this hopefully won't. Cool. What do you want? 45% commission. You can take 10 of these. You can take 2 of these. 3 of those. That keeps, well, actually 6. See, if we have 4 in stock, we have 4 components that need spare parts, right? Each wind turbine and each solar panel. So we keep 4 in stock and we can trade off the rest. Make sense? Now we're going to see how much we can take from them. Up. We can't take that much. Take that. And that. That'll do. Go. All right, so I'm building a new airlock over here because we're going to want to build a new O2 processor over here. And then we're going to want to enlarge this. This is as big as it can be. We're going to want to enlarge this. All right, so we need to start growth. And we can grow way on over this way. We just need a central hub to work with. And then we'll probably start looking to build a bigger storage facility. And then... Cool. Now, one thing to keep in mind is you don't want this stuff to be too far away. You kind of want to hub off of these O2 makers. You get 3 or 4 steps away from them, and it becomes less efficient. All right? So anywhere you're going to have a lot of people, like a biodome, all right? Big workplaces, things like that. Why is there so much food stockpiled and bots not running that stuff around? You see what I'm saying? You want to be able to pump oxygen into play, like here. 10 people at a time can be in this space. That's a lot of O2 usage. Plus, you figure more people are going to be in here. Boom, boom. You don't want to be more than 2 steps away. I mean, you can. It's better if you're not. Well, shite. All right, shut this down. Get out of there. Come on. Now, if something needed repairs, you just have to deal with it. Nothing needs repairs right now. Everything's in excellent shape, so we don't need repairs. We could shut this down. We're not going to. Oh, I didn't close this one off. That's okay. Smedley, get moving. Storm's about over anyway. Cool. We're back in business. Oh, space turd. And we got full power available. Okay, very good. So now we've done that. What we could look to do now. You know what? Belay that order. Hmm. 55% commission. He's got building materials though. And he's got the, see, we could straight up buy that. That's a pretty good patent to have. Not necessarily 55%, but we got some coin, we got some stuff we could sell there, we could sell that. We got one of those we could trade. We're gonna hold on to these. Hold on to that. I think we're just going to trade for stuff. Especially bioplastic, because that seems to be the bane of our existence at the moment. And I've got a larger biodome I can build before I get the farm dome. So you have 3 sizes, and then you have the farm dome. Okay. So like the smallest one has 4 pads. The medium one that I've got built has 12. Then the large has 16, I think. And then the farm dome has 24? 20 or 20. Has 24 pads, I think. All right, so 7, you know what? Now, our people don't actually have to go shuttle a whole bunch of shit out there. The bots are doing quite a bit of the work, which is great. That's what they're there for. Also, once he's gone, I'm contemplating actually taking this out and putting in storage here, and then moving this down. Actually, it would be storage, then security, then looking out this way to do our landing pads out here. So I think, all right, he's out of here. All right, everybody go pick that stuff up. Let's go, let's go, let's move. Boom, 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 boom. All right, so guys, there's stuff to go pick up. Go pick it up. Plus, pretty soon we can start looking to build another mine. Chunks of the space turd got close. We've already taken 2 hits on the base. All right. Go pick that stuff up. We're going to get bigger storage into play. We've already got the biggest canteen we can have. You build the biggest canteen. I mean, there's only 2 sizes. You build the biggest one from the get-go, right? Everything else you can build smaller to start with, and then you can make it bigger. But your canteen is kind of the hub of the operation. All right, we got robotization reached, which means we got 10. Sweet. That's enough for now. Let's shut this down. But you loaded the machine up. Thanks, dickheads. The other thing we can start looking to do now is making guns. I like guns. Guns are your biggest trade bait. All right, everything's cleaned up out here. So now let's look at storage. Whoop, we're gonna go big dome storage, as Dad likes to say. Cool. Trade, ship. Oh, this guy has the patent. We can buy that. Yes, thank you. 35% commission. He's got good prices too. All right. we're gonna blow out our money right here. 135. We need 486. Okay, cool. Trade. We do not have, nobody has to do anything. Wait. Oh, no. Shoot, there was stuff to take out there. Sorry. Whoops. Wasn't paying attention to that. And as soon as this gets done, we're going to get everything moved out of here over to here. And then we can start expanding the base this direction. What I may well look to do is have kind of your industrial section down here and then have move like the biodome over here. We'll switch the lab out and then move crew quarters kind of down this direction. We start getting travelers and stuff in, boom. You're back in play, and I want that. Where'd that land? Right over there. Space turd. We need one more metal. Now, we could demolish something that uses metal, like this pull-up bar. We could take that out and get one metal. And then boom, this would be, well, actually it needs two. See, so we need two metal. So that said, we can do this. Grab that shit, go over there and build it. Go, go, go. There's one metal just arrived on the scene anyway. But the second airlock is helpful because now they don't have to go all the way around the base. Here comes the constructor bot. So people are going to have to do a little bit to get over here to get this. One of our carrier bots just broke. Okay. And there we go. Now we got storage. Awesome. See how it takes a second here for the O2 to come up, but now it's good. So now we got tons of storage. And we got all this crap over here. Now what we're going to do is try to just inch our way forward with recovering from, I mean, some more cash, right? So we really aren't in a position to trade anything at the moment. Everything's kind of depleted, all right? And that's okay. This is your farm dome. That is something you want. Oh, nope. But now, see, even 50% commission is going to cost you 600. Wait a minute. What the hell are you doing, dude? He can't afford it. He can't afford it. Let's go ahead and just dismiss Hogan. Now, they are doing all that. I kind of really want to get security office kind of going over this way. You don't have to build a big one initially, but eventually you will. So your control center, really, you should just go for the bigger one. And again, this gives you the yellow and red alert ability, even if you don't have anybody in the command center. You just hit 2 or 3 to change the alert status of the station. All right, so we got food, we got stuffs. We could build another machine. We probably don't need to. Like, here's a salad. There's 3 more salads, tomatoes, and tomatoes. Once the salads get consumed. Yeah, ooh, that was close. You don't want to have too many of these things, I've learned, because that can jack your stuff up a little bit. What could we use? Probably another biologist. Now we're in excellent shape. Another biologist, another engineer, and another medic. Let's try to pull that off. Okay. Because now we're at excellent status. We should be able to get 3 crew members in. And hopefully, nobody's going to come in that's bad guys. Because now we're going to be looking to bring guards in. Okay, we just got crew. And it looks like we got one of each. We got one biologist, one medic. Yep, basically we did. All right, so that's good. We got one of each. That's exactly what we wanted. Okay, now we're going to bring crew in. We want guards. Our next step out is going to be an oxygen generator over here. Now, you can just click on that. It will take you to the trade ship. True story. 65% commission. Suck it. He's got the farm dome patent too, but it would cost even more. $660. Case guy. He's got materials we could use, but no, you're out. Goodbye. There's crew. Looks like we just got 2 new workers. No, we got 2 guards. Okay, cool. That'll work for now. Turn colonists off. Because now our food production is going to become a little bit dicey. So, we got a couple of options. But what I want to do, I think, we're going to do a temporary measure, and that's going to be to build a smaller biodome like here. Yeah, because our food production is going to get a little, well, it may not. It may be okay. What I'm doing here is preparing, though, to stockpile food so that we can eventually take this out and build the bigger one. Because now, I mean, so there's the small one. That's the 4-pad. And this is 4-pad, right? This is what we have, which is 12. And then that's the one we can go to, which is 16, I think. Oh, that was close. Now, again, Department of Redundancy Department, the Sonnet ring. This connection got cut. The base would be without power until that was reconnected. But because we have a secondary connection here, we're good. Now, If this connection gets cut, we're screwed. So what do we do about that? Simple. We make a secondary connection between here and here, like that. We're not going to, because all right, so we're going to put a rice pad, tomato pad, lettuce pad, another wheat pad. Trying to set up to do meals for sure, like pasta. Okay. Now we may need another biologist to help support this, but I think we're going to be okay. All right. We 35% commission. All right, we can roll tide with that. 1, 2, 3. That's the way you get your money back. Okay. He's got room for one more. Take one more. Boom. Done. Clears down the inventory. Right? Now, the next step would be, we don't have any metal at the moment. Now, if we look at our crew complement here, you're going to see a funny number. See the guards? This means they have guns. Okay? So we need one more gun. We need metal. So, again, we're back to a position where we need to get the ore production kicking in the ass. You know something? This might have been stupid. Let me think this through. Yeah, I guess it's kind of stupid. All right, we're going to start taking these out. As they produce, we're going to undo this. We'll lose a little bit of materials, but we've got enough food production here. We're going to go ahead and build the bigger biodome here. Then we'll probably look to swap this over here. Oh, we need water production. Okay. All right, cool. At night, you have a higher water demand. Okay, there goes that. How many constructor bots do we have now? We got 2. Huh. Figured, oh, you know what? Because metal is behind. Okay. All right, these pads are not getting enough maintenance, which means we need more biologists. Let's see what this knucklehead wants. 65% commission. I don't care what you want. Go away. All right, so here's what we need to do. We need to turn this off, turn this on, and go full-on biologist. With the option for a worker. Ah, shoot. Yeah, now I don't have to close off the airlock. And also with these, with 2 of these, we're producing. All right, now we're back. We're good. I mean, we were producing 100 kilowatts of power, and we're only using 88. So that works out pretty good. I think this needs one more metal, and then that'll be in business, and we won't have to deal with water issues for a minute. Yeah, so we're kind of close here. So that's why at night it got a little close. Okay, so again, let's look at... Oh, this just produced. Crew. 2 biologists. All right, that's good. That's good. Okay, this just produced. That just produced. That's coming along. What do we got? All right, there's 2 engineers and a worker. All right. So even though we wanted 2 workers and an engineer, well, of course, personnel doesn't, always get the hint. We're going to go to here, and then we're going to actually turn that off for a minute. We're going to re-engage that guard. Oh, you know what? Yeah, we could use another guard. Because we might have to deal with intruders soon. That's what's the hint and a half. So you want your guys armed. That's why you got to make guns. All right, this should be, once this pops, and we're going to delete it. We're going to delete this, and we're going to build a bigger one once it gets cleaned up. 100, boink. Y'all grab that stuff and get out of here. Doc. Hey, grab that. Go. Get out of the space. Thank you. Cool. Now y'all come out here and clean this up. Ship. We got 2 more guards. Nope. Those are not guards. We got 2 more engineers. How do we get engineers? No, those are workers. More guards. We got 1 gun, 1 spare gun. Hopefully we got another in production. We should. Yep, it is. Okay, so now this is cleaned up. So now here's what we're going to do. We're going to the big biodome. And if we can do it right here like that, that's swell. Stretch it out a little bit. Now you could do a 3rd connection here, but wait till this one gets built first. Because what happens, a stupid bot will get trapped. All right, there's 2 more guards. Good. Okay. Now for our next thing, we don't need any more people right now. 35% commission is good. Ooh, GM onion. So the GM onion and tomato, those pods or pads produce 4 food per cycle as opposed to 3. So yeah, there's a little more food production for you. We don't have enough money to trade for it. We do have stuffs. So let's see what we can do here. Boom, boom, boom. We can just go for cash. 540. Yeah, I don't have the cash for it. We could drop back and punt a couple of these. 5 of those. Drop back 1 more of these. That gets us to 210. It still doesn't get the math right. Okay. So we're going to keep our... okay. Perfect. There may be times where you're at a 1 coin loss, but you'll get over it. It would probably help to build a... I know we don't have the metal for this. But we're working on it. We need metal here too. So this is starting our landing facility now. We'll be able to do the bigger, we'll do a couple of small pads and then we'll do a couple of bigger pads. The only thing is with the bigger pads, you really got to have your power production act together. The command center here, the other thing we can do is put in a security. Security. All right, all 4 of our guards are armed. Ideally, you want 6 to 8. This is going to need another 1 or 2, 3 metal. All right, kids, let's get 2 more veg out there. Let's go, let's go, let's move. And then this air, excuse me, this airlock here will help construction around this area. All right, cool. Now, we really need to build another cabin here too. We'll probably look to do that in a minute. Shift some things around a little bit. And because we only got beds for 10 right now. And we want to have a 50% ratio on beds to butts. Actually, if we look at this, we did this right here-ish. Here-ish. Hello? Hello? Shit, we just lost 2 people. Two people got caught in the corridor when the meteor hit. All right, what does this guy want? The question is, what are they charging? 60%, no bueno. And we are not in desperate need of anything. So, dismissed. Now, the question is, what did we lose? We lost, I know, 1 worker. Okay, we didn't lose a medic. I think we lost like a worker and a biologist. No, it probably would have been workers. There's no reason, unless a biologist was carrying something out there. So probably 2 workers. I'm going to be okay with that for now. Yeah, so there's 4 pads. Yeah, this is a 16. Now what we're going to do is, as these over here produce, like this one just produced, One of these just produced. That one did. You recycle them just after they produce. Okay, so let them pop. Let them give up the goods, right? And then nix them. Because while the new ones are, you know, waiting to produce, right? You see, picking up what I'm laying down here? You've got surplus. But then this shifts the labor over to the new side. That just produced. All right, so now, and that frees up bioplastics to start building more pads over here, okay? Excuse me. All right, so now that gives us 14 pads to replace 12. What just? That was that crew? I think it was. There might have been a trade ship that I just ignored. That's okay. All right, let's get these last couple done here. You're going to pop here in a second. 9, 100. Done. Clear. Okay, that one's close. This one's done. Clear. That leaves this. Now, see how we've got a... There we go. All right, this is about to wrap up here. Cool. Done. All right, y'all get that stuff out of there. Then we just need this done. Which we need more metal for. We need the lab expanded. If anything, we'll put a bar here. Nah. Okay. So another thing I like to do in this design, and it's a little bit tricky here because so vegetables go into here and make alcohol. That's why I've got that where that's located. All right. We're going to go ahead and put in another tomato pad and another medicinal pad, which we could change out later. All right, see, we got 2. Okay. Yep. Okay. Shut that landing pad down. We're going to recycle that here pretty soon. In the meantime, one thing we want to do, and we're going to actually do this right here. You want your things that require maintenance, your solar panels and your wind turbines, closer to an airlock. So your power storage and your water extractors can go, and other things that go outside. The key is those two things, all right? Move those further away. Now this bar, let's see here. If we hook up this directly, which I feel like I want to wait, because if I get the farm dome patent, then that's going to get swapped out for the even bigger one. We'll go ahead and connect it, because I want to get a layout for the bar. I know there's not going to be anything on this side. We can't connect it to this. So that's going to be the layout. So the layout, we'll put the TV over here, maybe two. Okay, so let's put that there. We'll put a water fountain there. Standing tables in the back. Oh, that's a standing table. And then we need drinking machine. Yeah. Hey, what's happening, Autumn? Our XO is here. Hooray. How are you? Appreciate it. It's nice to be seen. Back from a weekend mini, haha. Nice and cool up there. I like it. We're out of spares, but now we're not out of spares. Okay, so now what I've done is the sun's just come up, but nope, we can't do it. We don't have any. Shoot. Guys, Gitfo. We need to get some metal saved up, which we can get saved up by... we can't do that. Crap. Actually, we could if we did this, but we can't cut that. Which means we need another... I want another bigger solar panel. So what we need to do is cut this connection here, but we need to build another solar panel over in this area. You know what? This might work here. Let's do this. Yep, that'll work. All right, power's full up. Let's go ahead and delete this and delete this. That will get this built quicker. All that metal will just get moved over there and bazinga. We'll be in business. 50% commission. It's going to cost me 600. The question is, can I get there? With 314, I cannot. Damn it. Wait a minute. The hell you say? Okay, yes, thank you. All right, there's the farm dome. Hey, remember what we just did here? Guess what we got to do now? Undo it. We got to undo all this shite we just did. Crap. Because now, as soon as you can get those big domes, that's what you base everything around. The biggest domes. We can get that, and we can get the massive storage dome. So, yeah. How are you? How's everything? Feeling crappy today? Well, feeling crappy is better than the not better than the alternative, because there's better alternatives, but it could be worse. It could be better. We hope for better. All right, so now we got 2 of these here. That's good, which now opens up a little bit of options and opportunities over here. Because I kind of want to get this guy out of the way. But we have to move. We need a sick bay down here off security. So this, when you have ships come in and people need rest, they're going to raid your deals, right? Farm dome, hooray and huzzah. Okay, cool. Now we're going to fart around with that. But you know what? We're not going to fart around with that today, folks. We are going to save our game here, okay? And call it a stream. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Looking back at Planetbase, since I've just learned that there is a Planetbase 2 in production. And let me stand up for a second here. It will be out, it looks like in about a year and a half. But it's got some really good stuff going, and I'm going to try to get with Madruga Works and see if I can get on board to help, promote that early on, because I'm excited. It doesn't look like it needs a much more technical computer, so even if you have like a 7-year-old potato like I do, although now I've got a guy who's willing to build one for me for a 6-pack of beer, so that's awesome. And so I'm just gonna have to find some components and parts and components and some money to buy them with. So speaking of, if you want to make a donation to help support the channel, you can do that via PayPal. There's a link in the description below. We appreciate you being here. I hope you'll hit us up with a like, share with your friends, let them know about the channel, let them know about Planetbase, now available on Steam from Madruga Works. It's a fantastic game, it's a lot of fun. And like I said, Planetbase 2 is in production. I put a post up earlier about that here on YouTube, so check that out and go click over to Steam and find out the latest and greatest. Subscribe to the channel, click that bell icon, turn on notifications so you know when we go live or upload a video. Join us on X and Discord. Links in the description below. Become part of the A-Team on Discord. You can chit-chat with other people. Make new friends, gameplay mates. We have audio channels available for you guys to use to play multiplayer games and what have you. And you can share information on computers, pictures, dinner, your dog, cat, whatever. Talk about this game and others. It's a fun little community. So, hope you guys enjoyed the show. Make sure to hit that like button before you go. We appreciate you being here. And hope you have a great rest of your day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are on planet Earth or beyond. I'm A-Train. It's over. And I'm out.